Kia ora, I'm Ray O'Brien, Head of Sustainability, and another one of the three projects that we'd love you to get involved with is in relation to waste on campus. So let's draw a scope around it. What we're looking at is all of the stuff produced on campus. It doesn't include what happens in your flats, it doesn't include what staff do at home. It's just looking at our zone of operational control, is what they call it, when they're auditing our greenhouse gas emissions. If you want to have a look at how our waste is tracking, check it out on the annual update to Tukilka. That's available online and it's probably part of your assets and resources you've been given. But let's have a think about waste on campus. We spend a whole, there's millions of dollars spent buying stuff for use here, and also millions of dollars spent on research that looks at how to reduce that. Yeah, what we need to try and do is make sure that those two things match up. We shouldn't be spending all this money saying let's not be wasteful, let's look at the research on how to reduce waste and be wasteful in our operations. So let's have a look in here, just as an example. Yeah, we've got one commingled set of rubbish in here, which actually looks as if it's relatively well sorted. Unfortunately, that's not the whole picture, and right on cue, we've got the guys from Waste Management coming to pick up the skip. So that was an absolute fluke. The truck turned up, to collect that waste, to take it all off and process it. It actually turned up, and one thing that we've negotiated is that the main truck that does campus is an electric vehicle, and they convert their truck from a diesel vehicle to an electric. But let's think about the whole picture of waste. Where can we start having some control of it? And right at the start, when we think about the whole life, is when we're thinking about buying stuff. So when we put a contract out, there's what's called procurement, and we have a set of guidelines, and it's usually a competitive way as to how people get a contract to deliver stuff to campus. So that might be the stuff that's in the labs, it could be the food in the colleges, it could be the stuff that's in our shops, it could be the stationery supplies for in the offices. In that procurement contract, there is a weighting for sustainability and trying to reduce waste. As it comes here, it gets put in packaging. That packaging is waste, so how can we do things that would reduce the amount of waste from that packaging? I'm going to get bombed by a couple of TUIs here. Once it arrives here, we use it, and everything has a use life. So how do we look at the waste hierarchy and work out how can we, perhaps one person's finished with it, someone else uses it. How can we, it might not be fit for one thing, how do we use it for another? If we look at all of our IT, there's a massive responsibility because of the not only expensive but highly polluting minerals that are in the IT equipment. So how do we make sure that continues to have as long a productive life as possible? Using the waste hierarchy. But then eventually, when it does have to exit from a circular an economy as we can make, how do we do that in a way that's as least harmful to the environment as possible? Have a read of our waste management and minimisation policy, and it links that back into Te Tiriti o Waitangi as well, and that if we are doing things that damage Te Taiao, then we're taking away the possibility that iwi can have full control over how that land is managed because our waste is harming it. Think about that big picture all the way through the life cycle, waste hierarchy, and how it fits into the big picture of Te Tiriti. Ka kite anō.